Hi, I'm Nicholas Johnson. Welcome to the Space Warehouse Gallery. You ever watch the YouTube channel Answers with Joe? I do. I was at Five Guys for lunch yesterday, and I was watching an episode. It was probably an older episode, but I just saw it. And I'm probably completely going to botch this story because I watched it one time a day ago, and I did no additional research whatsoever. But the gist, the broad strokes of what I'm about to say are a real thing, and it's super interesting. So, your brain. Our brains are made up of two halves, two hemispheres. And down the middle is like a seam. And in the middle, towards the back, is where the information is transferred between the two halves of your brain. So there's this super rare condition that can cause debilitating seizures. Like, to the point where a person couldn't even live normal life. They couldn't do pretty much anything. They have like 100 seizures a day or more. And a really long time ago, I don't know how long ago, maybe I'll put it at the top of the screen, there was a really rare surgery to fix this condition, and they would literally open up your head and they would slice apart the two hemispheres of your brain so that they can't communicate with each other, with one another, the two halves of your brain. Apparently, this leaves you completely able to do normal things. It does not hinder your hand-eye coordination of your life in any way. Except this really weird thing would happen to these people where, for instance, they're going to go pick out clothes in the morning and they're at their closet, they're thumbing through their shirts, they find one they want to wear, and their other hand would literally grab their arm and cause them to throw the shirt to the ground and then pick a different shirt out. And they're not consciously aware of that act, they didn't do that. That wasn't them, except it was them. Or they're at the grocery store picking out fruit, and then seems like a good apple. Their other hand would literally swat it out of their hand. Not like you lose control of yourself, but purposefully swat this fruit out of their hand and grab a different piece, as if you're competing. So your brain is two halves. The right half controls the left side of your body, including your eyeball. The left half controls the right side of your body, including your eyeball, for some reason. But only on one side of your brain is there a speech center that basically assigns words to the world around you. That is a voice recorder. This is a table. That's a wall. That's a picture of me. And so only one side of your brain has that. So the surgery for these people would have separated their brain into two sides that don't communicate with each other. And what it seems like they found is that we might be two people kind of working together really well with super good communication, and we've been doing it our whole life, so it's just totally natural. But when you break away that communication, it's like we're two people in one body. And they did more specific tests that got really weird, where they would sit them down, these people that have had this surgery and are no longer having seizures, or at least not as many as they did before. They would separate their vision with a card that goes to a wall and has two screens. On one screen, for their right eye, let's say, I think the speech center is on your left side. So on their left side, they would show a picture of an apple. And they would say, "What do you see?" And the person would say, "Oh, that's an apple." And then on the right side, they would show a banana. And they would say, "What do you see?" And now there's nothing on the left side. And they would say, "I don't see anything." But then they would do it again. They would show on this side, on the non-speech center side, they would show a picture of a banana, but they would just put a piece of paper in front of them and give them a pen and say, "What do you see?" And they I don't see anything. And then they could, with their right hand, they would draw a banana. And it's just the weirdest. They don't consciously see, the brain that can speak doesn't see this banana, but they're able to draw it because the other one does see it. The other brain does see it and can draw it because it has control over the right hand, and it does know what a banana is. It doesn't have a word for it. That, to me, is so fucking insane, but it also maybe explains a bunch of weird little parts of life where, I don't know, I super commonly go home, set my keys down somewhere, and then I thought just immediately erase that memory of that ever happening. But really, what could be happening is just the other me is putting my keys down, or they have chosen where that goes, and it just didn't communicate properly over the channel. And I just never got that information, because I'll put my keys in really weird spots. I'll put my keys, I don't know, next to the dog treats or something like that, when they should just go right by the door in the little thing on the shoe stand. I don't know. Or other things, like you can be driving your car and you're thinking about something, but you're totally dazed off, completely like just in deep thought, and then come to and realize you've gone 5 exits past where you wanted to go on the highway. But like, who was controlling the car that whole time? If you were so dazed off that you didn't even notice you were supposed to leave, how are you staying in the lane and like going the correct speed and not smashing into a car in front of you? I think your other brain might be driving the car. I think your other brain might be doing a lot of stuff. I think your other brain might be making a lot of decisions. So then they also answers with Joe, whatever Joe's last name is. He was talking about how further studies have gotten into how this might, it's 95 degrees in here. Further studies talk about how this might play into like justification. So when they drew the banana, afterwards they looked down at it and the interviewer would say, why did you just draw that banana? And even though the real reason was because you just showed him a banana, but his other side of his brain drew it with his right hand, he would look at it and say, well, I had a banana this morning for breakfast. And he would just make up a justification without being like scared or confused or weirded out by it at all. So they think we have this other portion of our brain that is meant to just make sense of things that would normally not make sense, or just kind of tie our world together for us. And again, this would play into things like you were at the grocery store and you bought this really healthy meal. You bought this salad and this other good for you stuff and put it in your fridge. And then it's around lunchtime and you're looking in the fridge and you're like, I should really eat that salad. But man, do I want some Panda Express. And you know, Panda Express is on the way to Home Depot and I have to go there anyway. So like, I mean, I might as well just go to Panda. I can eat this salad another time. And then at least for me, half the time that salad's gonna rot and then I end up throwing it away because I will justify reasons to not eat it long enough that it goes bad. But justification is part of this whole like two brains working together thing. This is weird, and it kind of, I feel like it explains things. I feel like your subconscious or your other brain works with you a lot of the time, but maybe has other ideas about stuff other times and is like able to sneak in his opinion. You can't use this, or you shouldn't use this as an excuse to do things that are bad and just be like, well, my other brain did it. Because, I mean, you are also your other brain. You're both brains. You're not just the speaking brain. I don't know. I just really wanted to... I've been thinking about this for the last day and a half, and I wanted to get it into the world again, even though I'm sure it's talked about plenty. That's all. I've been Nicholas Johnson. This has been the Space Warehouse Gallery. It's my new view. It's my new fake little booth wall. I'm going to change the art out once in a while with photography that I take. Yeah. I'm going now.